Hello out there, all my fellow styrene users and abusers. This is George coming to you tonight from the basement annex at Kitchen Table Scale Models because my wife is upstairs at the kitchen table doing water painting and I can't film while she does that. So I decided to come down here and shoot a little video, just kind of a little follow-up and update of this past weekend's Mid-Atlantic NNL show that was conducted by Mama's Boys, Maryland Automotive Modelers Association. At the Level Volunteer Fire Department in Northern Maryland. If you're not familiar with Maryland, it's up in the northeast corner of the state near the Delaware border, not far from the Susquehanna River, and a very rural and farming community. Excuse me. I'm going to start out showing you what I put on the table for my theme build. This is a 1940 Ford sedan delivery, the theme build for the show. I'm sorry about that. The theme build for the show was long roofs, and I decided to do a sedan delivery. I hadn't built any of these 40 Ford kits since I was a kid, which was a long time ago. Never did build a sedan delivery. I remember doing a sedan. I remember doing a coupe, and then I did I think I probably did a Roadster at some point, but the 40 Ford kits were really popular in the early 60s. They were relatively inexpensive at the time. They were not one of the more expensive AMT kits. AMT kits price points were, I think they retailed for either $1, or the retail on was either $1.50 or $2 at that time. And of course, that's when I was making 75 cents an hour minimum wage. But anyway, this is the 40 Ford kit. Again, the theme build was long roofs, and I kind of call this the melon wagon for reasons that should be self-evident as you see the advertising on the side. Again, this is a 40 Ford AMT 40 Ford kit. Paint on this, I really wish the color came out a little bit better on camera, because it's not that brown looking. It's really more of a light orange, a very pale pastel orange. That was mixed with Tamiya white lacquer, 8 parts of white to just 1 part of their X6 orange, and sprayed in with my Patriot 105 airbrush with a 0.3 needle. The green color, going back, the orange is a color that I call cantaloupe, and again, if you see it in person, it really is more of a cantaloupe color and less of a kind of a browny tan, which is what you see on the video. But the green shows up pretty well. This was mixed with Tamiya X28 Park green and white, 8-to-1 again, which is mostly white, just a little bit of color just to tint it. The decals for Buxom California Melons came from eBay, from Dave's Decals. If you like building old vehicles and you're kind of into vintage advertising and stuff like that, Dave's Decals has a tremendous assortment of vintage decals. I don't know. I bought a whole bunch of them. I don't know what I'm going to do with them all because I got a lot of them, but they really look nice. Chrome trim on this is bare metal foil, and the whole thing is then clear coated with Tamiya, I guess the X22 acrylic clear. Some of the other things going on in here. Let's see if we can shut this off and look a little closer here. Did a little work in the engine compartment, not much. I typically build. Come on, stop turning. Turn it off. That would help. And now the hood doesn't want to come out. Before I didn't want to go in. The engine compartment on this is I use the optional engine that came with the kit, a Buick Nailhead. Did a little bit of work on the engine compartment. I smoothed the firewall, and I added a pre-wired distributor from Concord Model Accessories. If you're not familiar with them, I urge you to check them out. They make about the best, in my mind anyway. I think the nicest pre-wired distributors I've seen. They're at least the most realistic looking. What else did I do? I got some wire looms on there. I think they came from, I don't know if they came from I guess they came from ProTech. Um, the um, the radiator hose was made out of a piece of solder, bent to shape, and then painted with rubber black. You can't really see the interior that well, but the steering wheel in there came from Model Car Videos or MCV products. It's what 3D printed. Really nice products. Matthew's doing a great job with this stuff, and I urge you to patronize him because he's a good guy. And I'm going to come back to talk about Matthew a little bit later. Also, the gauges on this, which you know, why'd I bother? Because you can't even see. Came from Best Model Car Parts. Again, another vendor. If you're not familiar with them, you really should check them out. They're available on eBay, and he makes. Do I have any here? He does pre-printed photo-reduced gauges. And I got some kind of schmutz on that hood, and I don't know what that's from. I had a little bit of problem with this kit. I don't know what happened. I got some contamination in the paint, and I'm not sure what that is. But you know, although I did put this on the table at a show, I built shelf queens, and it's just my satisfaction comes from having a model completed with a little bit of detail and doing a decent job putting it together, and it goes on the shelf and people look at it from 3 feet away. So mission accomplished with this one, because from 3 feet away it looks great. Just don't get much closer. So that's it. What else did I do here? I guess that's about it. Again, I put this on the table in the long roof category group build. One problem I had with the kit, instructions were really unclear. The way the instructions show the kit going together is it shows the bumper mounts. The bumper mounts are still on the frame. And with those bumper mounts on the frame, the body does not go down over the frame or over the fenders. And I finally realized that the only way it's going to go down is if I cut the bumper mounts off, which is what I did, and cut them there and cut them there, and glued the bumper directly to these little tabs that were on the back of the body, which, if I'd bothered to take a few minutes to think about it before I dove in and started gluing stuff together, I would have realized. But that can be a little bit of a problem. I fought that for a while before I realized what the problem was. Stock wheels with baby moons. Again, baby moons came with the kit. Headers came with the kit. I did not bother doing a lot of chassis detailing, because when it sits there on the shelf like that, everybody looks at it and goes, "Oh, that's nice," and doesn't see the chassis. So that's kind of the end of it. That's what I put on the table. Had a fairly productive time checking out the vendors. Picked up a few things for myself, and a few things for another modeler, and I'll come back to that. I love 37 Chevys. It's been years since I built the 37 Chevy kit. There is a local hot rodder that's running around in a 37 Chevy humpback that I just absolutely love. And I found this, a 37 Chevy humpback resin body. Proportions look good. It's molded pretty thick. The detailing is decent on it. Got to cut out the firewall. I haven't yet looked at this to see how this will work with the 37 Chevy kit, but I did order a second 37 Chevy kit. I've got one on my stash now, or I had one on my stash, and I just picked up a second one off eBay. And proof that bargains are out there on eBay. It was a factory seal kit, $25 including shipping. So that was a pretty good deal. I've got that kit. Coincidentally, I literally ordered it on my phone while still at the show on Saturday, and came from St. Louis, Missouri to Baltimore, Maryland, and landed here on Monday. So I was pretty impressive. The seller really got it out quickly. It looks like a nice body. I'm looking forward to getting into this. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it. I just noticed there's no door lines in here. And I don't know if I'm going to bother cutting door lines in this. That looks like it's going to be a lot of work, and I'm just not that good at doing that kind of stuff. So This might end up having to be a, I don't know, curbside or something, but it's a pretty body. I love it. Love the humpback look. I think it's cool, and I'm gonna use that. A couple other stash ads I picked up. I picked up this kit. It's an old MPC kit, or a re-release, a repop of an MPC kit. This kit was originally released in 1969 of the Dan Gurney Ultimate Eagle. Those of you who don't know, if you're familiar with your automotive racing history and you know of Dan Gurney, you know he was arguably, I think in my mind, one of the greatest racers ever to come out of the U.S. I mean, he's the only, I think he's the only Formula One driver, the only one to win a Formula One race in a car that he himself designed, and that was the Eagle. What's cool about this kit is that it comes with two engines. It comes with the Gurney Westlake engine, which was basically a small block Ford with some high-performance heads. But it also comes with the dual overhead cam Ford Indy engine, which has the basket of snakes exhaust coming out of the V of the engine block, and the fuel injection actually going into the head straight in between the two cams. You can see the picture of it there. I've recently seen a video online of somebody, a Ford, having put one of those engines, or somebody put one of those engines into an early Mustang and tried to run it at Bonneville or something. So I don't know, I might do something fun with that, or work that engine into a hot rod, because I think it would be cool. I will build this one with the Gurney Westlake engine because it's Dan Gurney's car and it should have a Gurney Westlake engine. So so that's that. It was factory sealed for $11. You know, how do you walk away from that? From the same seller, I picked up, as long as I was in an IndyCar mode, I picked up this. I haven't even looked at this closely yet. I don't know when this kit was originally released. If this is the old AMT Lotus kit, it probably was released sometime in the early or mid-60s, when the Indy cars were going away from the front engine cars. But again, for $7, you know, how do I walk away? A couple other little things I picked up from vendors. Some adhesive back carpet material. I may end up using this for mats inside the trunk compartment of my 914-6 that I'm building for the Porsche build. I think it's a good color for that. It looks like the kind of woven carpet mats that those cars had. While I'm talking about the Porsche build, this was probably my my best find. I wanted to look for some wheels for the Porsche. What I'd really like to do is, and you'll see this as it comes together, I really would like to do it with the center of the wheels painted to match the trim on the car, and I wanted to have chrome around the outside. And the way these wheels are built, they're going to be very easy to do that. You can see they're multi-piece. Give me 6 wheels. That's kind of an issue. This thing was not really what I call cheap. I think this was $23 or $24, but these wheels I think are going to look really nice. I'm going to strip the center sections and paint them a color that's going to match the trim color on the car, and hopefully I can get them to work with the kit wheels and tires. Because I don't have 4 of the big fat wide tires on here that I wanted to use, but we'll sort that out. You know, first things first, let's get these wheels done. So these are going to go on the Porsche group build. Look at that! I got a 4th one, so I have 2 full sets of wheels in here. These are going to go on the Porsche group build for the Scale Model Podcast or whatever. Last but not least is something I picked up off the raffle table. Actually, you know what? I think the carpet material came off of the raffle table too. I snagged this off the raffle table. It's a American Fire Truck Crew. It's kind of a companion kit for the ICM Model T fire truck kit. If you're not familiar with ICM kits, they've done a full series of Model Ts. Some really interesting variations. I might do a little video on those. They've done an old fire truck that's pretty darn cool. I've not done figure modeling, but it's calling me. I think I might give a try at doing some figures when I build this fire engine kit. So that's kind of it for what I picked up for myself. But while I was banging around, I always keep an eye open for things that I know some of my fellow YouTubers are interested in or looking at. Excuse me for banging my camera around there. You know, those of you, I'm sure, if you're watching my channel, you probably already know or are aware of or watching Matthew in Minute Model Car videos. Matthew's just a great guy. We've become kind of friends over the last couple years. He's largely responsible for encouraging me to jump the YouTube shark and do this channel. Matthew really is really fond of these 1/16 scale Academy mini craft kits. And I saw this, I took a picture of it, I said, Matthew, do you want it? And 6 seconds later, the answer came back, yes. It looks like a nice kit. You know, it's a true classic automobile. One of the first real sports cars that people are familiar with after the war that came over to this country, being brought back by all the GIs from Britain. There's a 48 MGTC Sports Roadster by Minicraft. That's going to be shipped off this week to Matthew, along with a couple other things. While I was there, he said, "Hey George, if you see any of those monogram Model A kits, would you snag one for me?" Well, Matthew, it was your lucky day, because I snagged not one, not two, but 3. So these are all going off to Matthew. They all look complete. The boxes are a little beat up. Prices on these things were pretty cheap. You know, this one was 20, this was 25. I can't remember what this one was, somewhere around the same, I think. So these are going to go off to Matthew in Atlanta or Nahunta, Georgia. This still sounds, it's a weird word, but it's Georgia. So that's it. You know, I thank you for watching. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up. If you like it a lot, please subscribe. If you don't like it, don't do anything. Just go watch another video. And I thank you again. Thank you all for watching. And please, again, give me a like and a subscribe if this is your first time watching the channel. And if it's not your first time, thanks for coming back. Much appreciated. Ciao.